Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Reserve Silver Eucalyptus. Now, this is one of the new fragrances that was available in their Summer Reserve collection that launched, a little over a month ago now. This is in their new 3-wick format. This is 22 ounces of 100% soy wax. This specific candle retails for $34. It is also available in a 4-wick, which retails for $50. The Reserve collection is slightly more because they do use a little bit more expensive fragrance oils for those blends. And then, yeah, I think the Reserves are only available at this moment. I know that there are plans in the future to put them in the tins, but for right now, they are only available in this 3-wick format as well as the 4-wick format. I feel like at this point I've already covered enough, knowing that this new vessel has replaced the 2 wicks. A lot of us Kringle faithful are familiar with that right now. Now, I did purchase this candle, and if you've been keeping up with my channel here, I told you guys when I initially hauled this, and then I talked about this fragrance a little bit last week in my Friday 5, that this was the last minute calling an audible addition to my order when I initially ordered the American Pie and the Jungle Tuberose. When I was trying to get my hands on some of that new summer collection, this was it kind of was the dark horse. It came out of nowhere because when I started looking at the fragrance notes, I was like, you know what? That actually does sound quite intriguing. And I decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and give it the old college try. And a little bit of a spoiler alert for this review, you guys, I have no regrets about that. So, Silver Eucalyptus has fragrance notes. They are listed as top notes of eucalyptus leaf, orange zest, cinnamon leaf. Mid notes, clove, tonka bean, heliotrope flower. Base note of patchouli and vanilla sugar. This has a pour date of June 2nd, 2026. All right, you guys. So this fragrance, when I started hearing some of the ambassadors who had been sent this candle in PR talk about it, they were saying, is the eucalyptus there? Absolutely. But they were all saying that there's a little bit of warmth and sweetness to this candle. And I thought, that sounds like a little bit of an interesting combination, which again is what drove me to go ahead and look at the notes again and then decide that I was going to go ahead and roll the dice. And here's what I smell, you guys. Yes, I agree with them. Do you smell eucalyptus? Absolutely. Is it overly spa-like traditional eucalyptus that you get with all of the other candles? No. This to me is, again, there's eucalyptus, but this is an elevated take. This is very much it smells like a bougie candle, if I can be really honest with you guys. And there is a warmth to it. Now, my nose detects it as the clove and the tonka bean in the middle there. And then the sweetness is coming from the vanilla sugar in the base. The patchouli note in here is not that dirty hippie patchouli, as my friend Melanie likes to call it. And it's not an overly perfumey candle per se. So I do get the eucalyptus leaf. Maybe some sweetness is coming from a little bit of orange zest there, but truthfully, you guys, my nose doesn't really detect anything overtly citrusy in this candle. And I honestly don't know what a heliotrope flower smells like, but I am going to tell you that what my nose detects here, and you would never, I at least wouldn't ever think hey, let's blend eucalyptus with spice notes, right? Especially baking spices like a clove or even cinnamon. And yet, you guys, this works. This is just beautiful. It lends a level of sophistication to my home. I feel like this is a really nice evening type of scent. I've really been enjoying burning this with the white pumpkin and sage from their fall lineup. And then if you caught my review of cedar incense, this goes really nicely with that fragrance. If you shop across brands, another fragrance that this goes really nicely with is Gift Galas blankets and books. This is one of those fragrances for those people who don't want the gourmand, you don't want the fruity, you don't want the overly fresh, but you want something that, again, just as I was talking about in the cedar incense, gives a little bit more earthy types of vibes, but sophisticated. That's what silver eucalyptus does as well. A little bit more, I would say, sweetness and freshness coming from the eucalyptus. But again, you guys, don't get it twisted. This one is not that typical. You're walking into a spa and you're just like overwhelmed with the scent of eucalyptus. It is a very toned down eucalyptus to my nose. It's very pleasant, and again, I get so much nice natural sweetness from the vanilla sugar. It's not coming across as overly sweet, bakery, cloying. It's just more of like a natural sweetness. And then there's a warmth that is coming from the clove and the tonka bean there in the middle. I think it was Drew who said that this reminds him of like if he were to go to, say, a spa at like a mountain chalet in the wintertime. That's what this would smell like a really high end one. And I'm like, yeah, it definitely gives me those types of vibes. Again, nothing like woody or anything like that, but it's just, it's calming. It's calming and refreshing at the same time. And I'm gonna say, you guys, this is actually a very nice, I would say, year-round type of fragrance. If you're somebody who is not seasonal with your burning, if you're somebody who doesn't want all of the traditional apple and pumpkin and super fresh outdoorsy type of thing, if you want a fragrance where people are going to walk in and be like, it smells really clean in here, but also relaxing and elevated, this is, I don't know. I feel like this is like one of those fragrances that's almost kind of like a conversation starter in some ways. And we know Kringle does a really, really good job of doing elevated fragrances, right? We know that in the summertime, so many of us love coral, right? Because it gives us those like luxe, say like we're going to like Nantucket or like I always think of like a beach house in where like New England, right? But like high end, right? Their salted coconut was again high end resort lobby types of vibes. And again, this one to me is like high end. I think Drew nailed it. Like you're going to, say, a mountain chalet with minus the typical what you would think of like woody mountain lodge thing. No, this is, oh, it's just, it's beautiful, you guys. I've really, really fallen in love with this one. My family really enjoys this when I've been burning it. Everybody who's walked in, the reason why I say it's kind of a conversation starter is because people have been like, what is that? That's very, very pretty. It just smells clean, clean but cozy. I think that's the best way that I can describe it. It's clean but cozy at the same time. So as you can tell, you guys, I'm a huge fan of this one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it around here. You can see I've been burning this for about 4 hours. I am at about a little over the halfway mark there. Flames are beautiful. If you see them moving around a lot, I say this in quite a few of my reviews, but I live in Arizona. It's very hot. We have air conditioning running, and I have ceiling fans in every single room of my house, including here over the kitchen table. So my ceiling fan is on right now, and that's why the flames are dancing around a little bit. Performance. You guys, this one I would say has been, between all of the new candles that I have gotten from Kringle recently, including their fall collection and this summer collection, and yeah, like the summer reserve and like American Pie. I would say American Pie and this fragrance have been the most consistent from start to, this I'm not finished with, but start to, through almost finished, or through the life cycle of the burns here, you guys. This fragrance for me, you guys, strength, I'm going to give this a solid 8. Now, remember, you guys, that it's not headache inducing, it's not smacking you in the face, but it definitely makes itself known. And the throw on this, and this is just the 3-wick, you guys, and this is the experience in my own home. I do burn in hurricanes. The 3-wick on this candle, you guys, is almost a 9. It throws fantastic in my home. If you are newer to my channel, I do include in my candle reviews down in the description box the square footage, the layout of my home. Also take into account, environmental factors, because all of those things can really, really impact a reviewer's perception and how a candle is performing in their home. So my little 17 to 1800 square foot ranch style home might have different candle performance than, say, somebody who lives in a 900 square foot closed concept apartment or somebody who has a 5,000 square foot 2-story open concept, right? We're going to have different experiences. So I think that that's always really important to take into account. But this one for me, you guys, has performed extremely well. I have had several instances, because there are 5 people living in my home, and my children, they are not small anymore. I have 2 teenagers and 1 preteen. So oftentimes I will leave my candles burning when I run to the grocery store, or I need to run errands and one of my kids are home. When I come back in, sometimes, you guys, I have actually even smelled this candle in my garage when I open up my garage door and get out and walk around my vehicle. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can already smell that silver eucalyptus. But again, it's not this like dominating, overwhelming. It's like a comforting, welcome home type of fragrance. Cody and I actually just went last night to go see The Odyssey. Highly recommend that movie, by the way. Really, really good. We enjoyed it. But we didn't get home until later last night, and 2 of our kids were home. And when I walked through the door, I was like, oh my gosh, it just smells so good in here. So if you can't tell, you guys, I really, really love this fragrance. I have been surprised by how much I have loved it. I know Summer over at Fragrance Junkie also says that she's really enjoying this one. I told her, I said, I think I'm finding that she and I actually have some really similar fragrance preferences, and I think our noses tend to pick up on similar things. So if you want more reviews on this candle, go check out Summer, because I know that she's done a dedicated review on this. I know Melanie doesn't love eucalyptus, but yeah, you guys, I highly recommend this one. And the 3-wick has been a great performer for my house. If you have a larger home, you might want to consider the 4-wick. But yeah, really, really been surprised by how much I have loved this fragrance. So this is still on the KRINGLE website. I do have an affiliate discount code with KRINGLE. It's Katie15. It will save you 15%. Know that that is eligible for a commission, so please only use that if you are comfortable doing so. Again, you guys, this week it's probably going to be pretty heavy on the KRINGLE reviews. As I've mentioned this in almost every review that I'm doing, I'm just trying to make sure that I get all of these new 3-wicks that I have in my collection that I have been burning enough to give dedicated thoughts on. I want to give them their little moment in the spotlight prior to their biggest launch of the year, which will be Halloween in a couple of weeks. So if you notice that my content tends to be a little bit KRINGLE heavy this week, it just is what it is. You don't have to watch all of the reviews, but for the ones that you might be interested in, I want to make sure that I share my thoughts. So anyways, you guys, let me know in the comment section if you purchased this one. What are your thoughts? If you're somebody who hates eucalyptus, like absolutely, if your nose hones in on it and hates it, obviously this one is not going to be for you. But if your mind is one where you're like, eucalyptus is I'm open to it, I can't recommend this one enough. It's absolutely fantastic. I have been loving it. So, all right. Let me know if you like this video by just hitting the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.